Next up, we have a statement from a community member who wanted to share their story today but wished to remain anonymous for reasons that will become apparent. Reading that statement for us today is Liz Moore.
I'm Liz Moore, Director of the Peace and Justice Action League of Spokane. I will now read a statement from a community member and survivor of domestic violence who wishes to share the personal impact of the law enforcement statements around these laws. We are sharing their comments without edit. And I want to give a content warning that this statement includes a description of abuse, violence, and the use of firearms. Here is the statement. I am a domestic violence survivor and have asked others to read my statement to protect my safety. It is extremely difficult to relive the emotional trauma of my experience, but due to recent statements from Chief Meidel and the Spokane Police Department related to the new laws and domestic violence, I feel compelled to do so. I was raised to believe that police were there to protect us, a type of hero. This was reinforced in media, television, and movies throughout my childhood. Fast forward to my early adulthood, married with children, struggling every day to survive the violent hell I found myself in. One of my most traumatic experiences during that time is also the first time I was betrayed by law enforcement and society's promise that they would protect me. During a typical violent episode, my husband escalated, and I found myself with the barrel of a gun in my mouth. I can still taste the metal in my mouth as I write this. My kid screaming from the other room is what saved my life and allowed me the time to pick up the phone and call 911. When the deputy arrived, I was hysterical, as any person who had come that close to death would be. My husband was calm and collected. The deputy believed my abuser's version, that I was mentally ill and had threatened to kill him and myself, and stated that if they came out again, I would be going to jail. In that moment, I lost all hope of anyone ever helping me out of that situation. I was sure I would die at my husband's hands. Needless to say, I never called 911 again. Reading recent news reports and the Spokane Police Department official social media posts filled with fear-based false rhetoric regarding the new police reform laws and how law enforcement would be unable to respond to most domestic violence calls brought back the worst night of my life. Once again, I was being violated by those I had been told would protect me. The behavior of the duty that responded the night I called, the behavior of the deputy that responded the night I called 911, and these types of statements of false rhetoric from the police department are a part of the same system of violence that feeds domestic violence with tactics to maintain power and control over others. Shame on Chief Meidel and the Spokane Police Department for using domestic violence as a tool to get community sympathy for their outrage at having to make reforms. Shame on them for sending the message to abusers that they can get away with the abuse because law enforcement can't do anything. Shame on them for sending the message to victims who are struggling to survive and find their way out that law enforcement won't help them. Shame on them for playing the victim while using the abuser's tools to maintain their power and control over the very people they swore to serve and protect. Thank you.